Okay, imagine this for a second. You're on a plane, just taking off, climbing, and then silence. Both engines at the same time.
It's a terrifying thought, and it actually happened. That's what we're digging into today.
Exactly. We're doing a deep dive into the initial findings from the investigation of this, well, frankly, baffling incident.
And what grabs you straight away is the core reason they found, almost immediately, the fuel control switches. They were moved from ARENE to CUTOFF.
Right. And these aren't like light switches you bump accidentally. They're guarded. You have to mean to move them.
Precisely. Which throws up this huge question right from the start. Accident. Some kind of really, really serious error. Or, something else.
So what's clear, switches moved, engines out. But for you listening, the real head-scratcher is how. How does that happen with safety features like that?
That's the million-dollar question. The preliminary report confirms it. Both engines stopped because those switches were moved. Run to CUTOFF. And that brings us to this, design paradox. These switches are meant to be hard to move accidentally. They have guards. You need to perform a deliberate action.
So the design itself makes an accident seem, well, really unlikely.
Extraordinarily improbable is how I'd put it. The whole point of the design is to stop exactly this scenario. That's why it's so confusing.
And then you add the human element. The cockpit voice recorder captured confusion, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Confusion is a mild way of putting it. You can actually hear one of the pilots clearly saying they didn't touch the switch, denying it.
Wow. So it's not just a technical thing. That adds a whole different layer, doesn't it?
It really does. Now, technically speaking, they've looked very closely. The investigation found 0 mechanical faults, nothing wrong with the engines, nothing wrong with the fuel systems.
So equipment failure is basically off the table as the direct cause.
Correct. And another key piece of evidence, the ram air turbine deployed.
The RAT, right, the little emergency propeller.
Exactly. It pops out automatically to give emergency power only when all main engine power is lost. It's a definite sign of total engine failure.
And attempts to restart.
They tried. The pilots attempted engine relights, but according to the report, there just wasn't enough time or they weren't high enough. Unsuccessful.
Okay, so no mechanical fault, pilots confused, switches moved. But what really makes this stand out is what the experts are saying now.
Yes, the consensus seems pretty strong. Aviation experts are looking at this setup, these guarded switches, and they're basically saying accidental movement is, well, the term being used is nearly impossible or virtually unfeasible.
Nearly impossible. That's a very strong statement.
It is, and it heavily implies, this wasn't just a slip of the hand. It suggests something more deliberate, though what exactly, we don't know yet.
And it's worth mentioning, Boeing, GE, the engine maker, they're cooperating fully. No blame assigned to them at this stage.
Right. They're part of the investigation, providing data. Which leads us back to the big unknown. If it's nearly impossible for it to be an accident, then what was it?
That's what the investigation is wrestling with now, isn't it?
Absolutely. Is it some incredibly unusual form of human error we don't fully understand? Was it deliberate sabotage? Or is there some kind of hidden technical glitch related to the switches themselves that they haven't found yet?
It's a complex puzzle. They're looking into human factors, the whole interaction between the crew and the technology.
And that takes time. The final report isn't expected for maybe 12, even 18 months. That tells you how deep they're digging.
And the impact is already visible. India's Aviation Authority reacted pretty fast, ordering inspections.
Yes, they mandated checks on the fuel systems of all Boeing 787s in their airlines fleets. Shows how seriously everyone takes an incident like this. Safety is paramount.
So for you listening, the core puzzle is stark, isn't it? You have guarded switches needing deliberate action. You have a dual engine shutdown, no mechanical faults found. And experts saying an accident is virtually unfeasible.
It really highlights just how incredibly thorough these aviation safety investigations have to be. Every tiny detail is crucial when the stakes are this high.
It certainly is. And it leaves us, and you, with a pretty significant question to ponder while we wait for that final report. What does virtually unfeasible truly imply about how those switches were moved?
And what might the full investigation uncover about maybe hidden vulnerabilities, either human or technical, in systems we rely on to be fail-safe?
Definitely something to think about. We'll be watching for that final report.